everybody. Welcome to this video about the new teaching of our age. This is a very interesting topic that's been growing and showing up for me over these last few months. For a long time, I've had a feeling that both that I have a message here and that there is something new coming up, right? That there's a new movement in our world. And if we really look at it, if we really sit with it, we start, because one way to start to see what's happening in the world is just to pay attention, right? Become the awareness behind the thing. Go from a little bit of a higher vantage point. We start to pick up on what's happening across our world. And if you look at the teachings that are coming through right now, for the last a few thousand years, there's been many teachings that have come through where it's about an exalted person or God or priest or priestess or queen or king that have been in a very hierarchical structure, been telling us, showing us, leading us towards what they would call God's will or some sort of higher power, interpreting those wills for the rest of the people. But what I can see is happening around us right now is that every single one of us is having our own inner experience with our sense of guides, higher power, God, or whatever you want to call it. And this is a pretty big movement. Looking around, there are thousands and thousands, if not millions, of teachers popping up everywhere. There are so many, especially younger people, but also people of my generation, I'm 50, or other generations. People are waking up left and right, but especially the young generation. And they are waking up with a knowing that is much deeper. They're particularly waking up to the fact that you have your own inner connection to your higher power, that you know what your guides are telling you. If you find your way into stillness, into silence, and you practice, so I always promote meditation because that is one of the big things that has worked well for me, even though it's very hard at first. It's very tricky because our minds are used to being so busy. But when we come back home and we learn how to listen into the stillness, we start to hear guides that are telling us things. And in all fairness, I got in touch with a lot of my guides through psychedelic sacred medicine journeys. That's when it started coming through very clearly. But when I look back on my life, and I knew that I had protective powers with me, that I had guides, that I had a tribe that were working in the background, but I didn't know they were always with me. But I knew they would pop in whenever I was in deep trouble. So if we start to look at the teaching that's coming through right now, and then, because you start looking at it and you see, oh my God, there are these influencers everywhere, left and right. There are young people who come out with new ways of getting in touch with Starseed family, or new ways of getting in touch with original core energy, getting in touch with your blueprint, restoring us to physical, mental, spiritual health, right? And we get in touch with Earth Mother and we start to ground. This is how you have your own inner awakening. And it's not any longer about having that one preacher, that one priest that can be a channeler for all of us. Even though, of course, there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a guide, having a teacher, having somebody helping us along, somebody who's gone before us. That's absolutely beautiful. And I thank the stars and my guides that I got in touch with my shaman teacher, because it was amazing. But I also want to say that when it comes down to it, even if we have teachers, the last final call will have to be your own. As you grow in discernment inside of you, you grow in your inner strength, you grow in connecting to your inner shaman. Shaman Durek, he says, be your own damn guru. There are other beautiful shaman teachers who talk about the inner shaman. that the main goal is for everybody to get in touch with their inner shaman. And, you know, in a way, I'm here to just inform and guide and enlighten us on the way to that state. So my encouragement for you is I want to empower you to grow your roots into Earth Mother, to grow your connection to Father Sky, to grow your connection to your internal state. When you get in touch with what you are actually feeling, the messages that are coming through you, that are not just anger or fear or sadness like the big heavy ones, but they're more like intuitive knowings, things that pop up. These are messages to you. And the more we learn to listen to it, the better our lives get. We get more in alignment with our higher selves. And another part of this, if you also look around at all these influencers, you start to see that there's light language coming through. You start to see that many people are starting to speak in odd sounds. And they also sing in odd, unusual tones. These are frequencies that are activating healing in your system. They're activating higher parts of your DNA. You are actually, by listening to that, waking up. And it's going to happen, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but it's happening. And it's happening all across our world. And it's really a beautiful, beautiful movement. And I always knew that we were a part of what they call the second coming of Christ, an awakening, an arising, an ascension process. But now it's becoming very clear that these light codes that have been implanted and activated in some of us, this is what I sit with too. I sit with it, I call it an ancient language that's coming through me. These are sounds and tones that are working through me with the frequency and the vibration in your body so that you find healing as well. But it's meant for you to find your healing, not meant for me to always have to be there for somebody. And that's going on all across our globe right now. People are waking up left and right. People are singing, making videos with light language left and right. And these are activations for your codes in your body so that the healing goes like, happens all across all the time. And it's a beautiful thing. And personally, I believe it came from star systems. I believe that these were activating codes that came downloaded to us from our guides that are watching over us from outside of Earth. It's also why I'm a strong believer that we need to break out of the matrix, because I believe the matrix is keeping us in a lower vibratory state. And that's on purpose, that it's keeping us wanting to always go and drink on the weekends, wanting to watch the sport so that you have a place to put your attention. And the sports themselves aren't bad. There's nothing evil about the sport itself. But when our attention gets fully attached to it, and that when our thought is, my biggest goal in life is to watch the sports on a Sunday afternoon, then you may want to look at what is happening within you to make you feel that that's what you want to spend your time with. Watching other people run after a game where we're not really truly empowering the world here. We're not really truly making the world a better place here. It is a lot more like a distraction. Both the party scene, the sports scene, the many scenes, the political scene, many scenes are distractions so that we won't ask the important questions, so that we won't sit with the important truths. Because we can see, as we are awakening, we can see that, oh my God, like raise that vantage point a little bit, look from a little bit of a higher perspective. And we're like, because envision that you're sitting out in space, watching humans, watching humanity living their lives, watching what we do and how we interact, how we feel, how we think. And we're like, oh my God, they're worrying if they can pay their bills or not. That's how they spend most of their time. Most of the reason why they go to work is so that they can pay off their bills somewhere. Most of the reason they go to work is so that they can have a right to live somewhere. And so that they can have food on the table. While they keep feeding the machinery, while they keep feeding the big corporations. And then when we want to go to war so we can make more money, we rile up the emotional support for it. And now they all want to go to war. And now we're sending tax money to pay for those wars. It's all a big distraction, right? Because if you come back home, you start to see, wait a second, how are they spending their energy? What are they spending their energy and time on? Where does their focus go mostly? Does it go to things that are building their own lives or building the world? Or does their attention go to like something that just is going to pass time? And when we start asking these questions, which are of course not easy to face, and they're not meant to be judgmental, they're meant to just kind of shake us up a little bit. When we ask these questions, it's not that we need to beat ourselves up if we have the wrong answer. It's just to see, how can I add value to my life? How can I add a sense of worthiness to myself, to how I live my life, what I'm doing in life? How can I add to it so that I feel more empowered? What's been within me for a long time? What is my dream? What's the song that's coming through my heart? What is it that's coming through me? And it's going to be very clear for you. The more quiet you get, the more you listen, or the more you watch yourself live life, and you're like, this turns me on. This makes my whole spirit feel like it's on fire. This makes my heart go boof. I love this. And even if it seems silly, as in, I love going to the water park. Well, maybe there's a reason why you love that. And maybe there's a reason, if you follow that passion, something else will come up for you. And maybe you'll become part of Captain Watson and saving the world, the whales and the dolphins of the world. We don't know why your passion is put in your heart. But we know that when you follow that passion, you're going to end up racing to your higher self, living a life more in accordance to your higher frequency, higher vibration. And this in turn then helps you to like, oh, now I feel like I'm doing something valuable with my time. Yes, I'm doing the right thing. Yes. While when we are still in the slavery of the matrix, the mental slavery, right? Emancipate yourself from mental slavery, right? Our beloved Bob Marley. When you emancipate yourself from mental slavery, you see that, oh God, I worked 5 days a week. I looked forward to Friday afternoon when I got off work so I could go and drink my beers. And I looked forward to Saturday night when I could drink more beers. That was what I looked forward to. And the few weeks of vacation I could take. That was my highlight. When we're still in that system, it's a pretty enslaved system. And then, but because of how it's been kind of portrayed and how it's been put forth, we bought that as freedom. While reality is very different, right? Because we're really only feeding the machine. We're really only feeding the big corporations so that they can keep going, making more and more money. And then the class separation is happening more and more. So if you sit and listen to your soul, you sit and come back home, you start to see that maybe this isn't for me. And not that we need to do drastic things of like, I'm quitting my job today. But we do need to see what makes my heart sing, what makes my heart go boom. That's the passion we need to learn how to follow. And we can start that as a hobby. And if that hobby grows to something else, we can do it full time. And if it doesn't grow, it's just something that enriches your life, we do it as a hobby, and maybe we still stay in the matrix for the job. But we need to be able to see through it, see through the illusion, so that we're not stuck, emotionally stuck in the fear-based matrix. Okay, so the new teaching that's coming through, this is just a recap, right? New teaching that's coming through is that everybody has their own individual awakening going on. Every single human, every single you and me, we're having our own awakening going on. We're having our own connection to the universe going on. We are learning that we are part of life. We are learning that through us, life speaks, sings, dances. As we wake up to that, we're heightening and raising our vibration to a different frequency, where we are more in alignment with love and more in alignment with higher knowing. So then some people refer to it as emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence comes through you. You start to know things that you didn't know before because you are now open to listening to what's coming through you, and you trust that your intuition is truthful. And as we start trusting that, we grow more and more and more. And as we then trust our intuition more and more, we have new insights, more and more insights, and we keep moving our lives into more of a platform of, I can support the world. I can help the world this way or that way. Either if you make a lot of money, you can do it financially. If you do it emotionally, you can do videos. Whatever you do, right? We do something to support the world. We're of service. So it's a beautiful, beautiful journey. And it is about everybody having their awakening. So it's coming through all the teachers around our globe right now. You can look at all of them. You can look at Sarah Caldi. You can look at Rev Beckwith. You can look at Eckhart Tolle. You can look at any one of them, right? They are teaching us that the awakening happens within each one of us. And they're teaching us how to get there. And this is the beauty of this time. It's the beauty of this awakening. You are going to find your love, or you're already found it. You're finding your love in your heart. You listen to it. You live in accordance to the frequencies coming through you. All the light workers are out there. All the light language is out there. It's very activated right now. In 10, 15 years, we're going to look back, because then people are going to be used to this new music that's coming through. Because you look around, a lot of people are doing the light language stuff. You look around, it's very unusual still. Like, it's still kind of like, whoa, that's odd. But in about 5, 10, 20 years, there's going to be so many people doing light language that it's going to be our new medicine. It's going to be how we raise our frequency. Just like the healing that's coming in, the energetic healing work, which is also vibrational healing work, and vibrations are transferred in sound as well. That's helping to heal. There's a lot of that stuff going on. So we are in a new age. This is the new age. Basically, maybe it's the dawn of the new age, where this new teaching is coming in. We're all learning. And it sure is a beautiful time to be alive. And we are coming into our gratitude, right? That helps that vibrational state like nothing else. All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Feel free to leave comments, like and subscribe if this spoke to you. And keep an eye out for the next video. Namaste and aho.